the world. You're listening to WCEG Network. We are the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Please log on to WCEGTalkRadio.com and watch us live on your smart TV, on the Roku cable channel, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now on Fanbase and Blue Sky. Search for WCEG and subscribe on all social media platforms. I am Anthony C. Aiken, and co-host for this show is Herman Henderson. Herman, how you doing today?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing,
I'm
Anthony?
doing fine. I'm doing fine. It's so good to see you because it's always good to be with you for the next hour. And look, folks, I need to let you know that you need to go in and download our free WCEG mobile app. Alexa, play WCEG Talk Radio and listen to WCEG on any of our 12 podcast distribution platforms. Last but not least, our disclaimer: the topics and opinions are those of the show host and guest and not WCEG Network. And thank you for your continued support. Herman, we're back on again, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing great, Brother Anthony. We are both Omega brothers, and we've been doing this for a number of years now. Veterans helping veterans, veterans today, and we are here to help veterans in the community understand their entitlements, get their benefits through the VA. Those that are veterans, we all families have someone that has been a veteran, so we are here to empower the entire community.
You are so right, man. It's always good to be able to come on every 2 weeks and bring on some outstanding guests whereby we talk about issues of importance, not only to the veterans here in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia, but all around the world. It is so important for us to continue to speak truth into the community. So, Herman, why don't you tell our listeners out there who's going to be our guest today?
Our guest today is Mr. Bernie Crane, uh, guest South Fulton. He's running for South Fulton
We
City
can't hear you. Turn
We can
toward the
hardly hear
mic.
He's
you.
running for South Fulton City Council, District 3, Mr. Bernie D. Crane. How are you, Mr. Crane?
I'm doing amazing, sir. I'm delighted to be with you guys today for your season finale, and it's great to see you, Colonel Aikens. It's always a pleasure to be in you guys' company.
Always a pleasure seeing you too, Mr. Crane. And as Herman stated, we've been doing this ball game now for about 10 years. And you're just adding to the mix because we've not had a flop on the show yet. So you better not flop today.
Flop is not in my category, it's not in my vocabulary, and it's not in the recipe for the day. So let's elevate.
Let's always elevate. So I tell you what, why don't you tell the listeners just a little bit about who is Benny Crane?
Well, Benny Crane is a community activist. He's a visionary. He's a husband, a father, grandfather, great grandfather, and a member of the greater South Fulton community for 50 years, and delighted to continue on that journey. I try to be very active in every way that I can to support those who need support the most, whether it's our youngest of citizens, from our children to our senior community, and for everybody in between, because everybody needs somebody sometime. And so I've been working in the greater community for a very, very long time. That's Benny Crane.
Okay, well, where you from?
Atlanta is my hometown, born and raised here, and someone has to stay here to welcome all of these folk from parts unknown, so that we can give you guys a true feel of what it's like, to be from Georgia, most especially the Atlanta area, because most people we meet, most people that I meet, they're from other parts of the country, maybe even other parts of the world. So someone has to, be able to, help you navigate, the waters of this great city, the city that we all love, which is South Fulton, but it's the greater metro Atlanta area. So been here a long time and I know my way around very, very well.
Herman, do you think we need to cut this show right now since he's a Grady baby kind of guy talking that smack?
Oh, so listen, that's a badge of honor. Okay, it doesn't rise to the level of being a former Marine or a colonel in the U.S. or in the armed service. It doesn't rise to that level. Let me be clear. But to say that you're a Grady baby, let me tell you something. Respect, okay, brothers. Respect, okay.
Okay.
Don't hate.
There's no hate in us. You
I
know,
hear you. I hear you.
we're two veterans. We're very passionate about what we do. I'm actually at a family member's home today doing the show, and he's a veteran. He served honorably in Vietnam, and it's a pleasure to be around him. So it's for me, and I'm sure for Herman, we 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 just do everything possible to support veterans. So we're going to ask you some questions today, and just to get some of your opinions in regards to veterans, that type thing. So Herman, you want to open up, and then
Yes, as the position that you are campaigning for and that you hope to win, it's there's a saying in politics: all politics are local. So we, if assuming the winner of the position you're running for, as you help all people, how would you, what attention would you pay to veterans and their family? To one of our mottos is to empower the entire community. We want to inform veterans of their benefits and entitlements. What we have found now dealing with Anthony and myself, a Vietnam veteran, so we are old guys too, dealing with all veterans, their family. A lot of veterans and a lot of families not aware, not aware of their benefits and opportunities.
correct.
Uh, how would you help us to spread the word on that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I wouldn't be surprised if you are, that there is a meeting held on the last Monday of each month at Welcome All Park, and it is Veterans Empowerment and Engagement Organization, where veterans get together. It's led by one of the city councilmen who's been on the council for a couple of years now, and it is for that very reason, so that the veterans and the families of veterans can have direct access to information that many people may not know about. Now, there are a lot of veterans in the city of South Fulton, and I think this is a wonderful opportunity where you guys and those who are adjacent to you can get plugged into that. I had the good pleasure of attending a time or two, and so I know by firsthand experience, it is not just a room of just veterans. It can be those that are adjacent to veterans, like myself, my father, my grandfather, you know, two cousins who were raised in my household by my mother. So I understand that space. I know that, there's a big void. So I want to double down and make sure that we have a broader network of getting information to veterans and their families about what these opportunities are. In addition to that, I want to make sure that that organization that meets on the last Monday of each month, that it is plugged in everywhere that it can be plugged in, to make sure that they can harvest information and bring it back to the community, because the Vietnam era veterans, are up in age now. Many of them don't enjoy good health anymore, so they don't get out. So we've got to build a network to make sure that, number one, they can get information, and then they can get the services that they need. And I think we ought to be a big help in that regard.
Yeah, I kind of concur with the great question Herman just posed to you because it's extremely important for communication. especially for veterans like myself and Herman and others who are uh, dealing with various phases of disability, and to understand what benefits and compensations are available to them. We can tell you some horror stories of veterans in their 80s and 90s who never had the opportunity to even be rated in the VA system
Wow.
because of different biases. And we know what those biases are.
Of
So we don't
course.
need to sugarcoat it. It's real. So we need to make sure that the communication base is out there. So if you're successful in your quest for this particular District 3, it's going to really, from my standpoint, very important for you to ensure that that word gets out. Um, when you mentioned about the Welcome Hall location, I've been in the city of South Fulton since the incorporation, and I didn't know about it.
Hmm. That's unfortunate.
That I know didn't know anything about it. And as I understand it, the new mayor, Mayor Gumps, is I heard that she was putting together somewhat of a veteran group for the city of South Fulton. But again, that's just rumor. I have not seen anything in writing; it's not been published. So correct me if I'm wrong. Have you? Am I correct in that assumption or what?
Well, let me tell you this. If Mayor Gums is wanting to put together a veterans group, it will be in addition to what's already happening. I'm not, so when I talk about what happens on the last Monday of each month, that is not prognostication. That is not wishful thinking. That is a meeting that I've attended. I know that that's there. It was conceived by District 6 Councilwoman Linda Pritchett. She's very active in it, and I was there just last month, and they're doing some very, very good things. A lot of helpful information got out, so it would behoove you guys to please put this on your calendar. Let me tell you what time it takes place, not just the day, but the time as well. That takes place at 6:30 at Welcome All Park on the last Monday of each month.
Well, maybe we need to get Councilwoman Pritchett on the show. And since you said she was the proponent of it,
I
and see
couldn't
if she
agree
could,
more.
so she can expound on it. So, the knuckleheads like Herman and I can understand, and along with the other knuckleheads in the community, and that's not a negative term. That's
Oh,
an
of
endearment
course.
term of people that they can get the information they need.
Well, also let me add to Anthony what Anthony is saying, and also add a little bit of information to what you are saying. I uh, I have a nonprofit veteran group. My veteran group is Veteran Helping Veterans, and we've been in existence 15 years. I and there are different veteran organizations that are in different lanes, and we are not communicating to to the extent that we should. No, in addition to the one that's Linda has in the Mesa Welcome All, which I was not aware of. But there are also, I mean, there are VFWs, American Legion, DAV. There are uh, many veteran organizations, and one one piece that's missing in the link is communication, collaboration, and working together. And it will be a good thing that as you know stand in our lane and stand in our territory. There's space for everybody. It is a good thing that we all organizations know what time we meet and where we meet and what is our vision and mission, because there are different organizations that focus on uh, the Veteran Administration, and what we're dealing with is a bucket full of things. So there are organizations that focus on certain items, and it is great that we know what each other is doing and know uh, know what are our primary goals.
Couldn't agree more. Let me add to that, Herman. You mentioned the various veterans organization. When I was last at that meeting, the last Monday of last month, there were probably a dozen people there, and they came from different branches of military, high-ranking officials, and they're now part. They were representatives from all of those agencies, those organizations that you just mentioned. So it's well represented. It could be more. And I think if we treat this as a real clearinghouse opportunity, this is the place we bring all this information together. And from there, the information can be disseminated back to the community. I think we need to continue to build a database, if it's not already done, in the city of South Fulton. Now, we can have tentacles that go beyond the city of South Fulton, but charity starts at home and spread abroad. So I would love to see that expanded upon. And, since we don't have to reinvent the wheel, and I hope that Mayor Gums will get with Linda Pritchett and see what she can do to enhance that, to elevate, to pour gasoline on it and really set it on fire all over the place where to be a greater resource for all the veterans and their families.
That's extremely important. I was a little alarmed when you indicated, well, let me back up a little bit. The previous administration consistently indicated that the city of South Fulton had over 100,000 residents.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
For you to say, and it's not a knock, but this is just what you stated, that there were only 12 individuals at that meeting signifies to me one or two things. Either there's apathy, they don't give a darn, or the information is not out there. So,
Or or
or
combination of the two.
combination of the two.
Right.
So that's why we indicated to you earlier, Herman and I, that it's extremely important, and you mentioned it also about communication base. I know we get newsletters. I see those kinds of things. But obviously something's wrong that you're getting such a small census for such an area that is so important. The federal government has millions of dollars that veterans that earned, they're not begging for crap. They earned for their service. But yet you go through hell and high water to get a rating in the VA system over a longer period of time because of misinformation, not having access, etc. So if you're successful, Mr. Crane, it's going to be very important for you to become an advocate of ensuring that the veterans in your district and the city of South Fulton are informed about opportunities to receive benefits and compensations that they earned.
Here's what I would commit to doing, Colonel. If I'm successful, and I pray that I am, I would like to see one of you guys appointed to that board so that you will be dialed in firsthand, boots on the ground, and make sure that the apparatus is ready to be deployed out to the community. You all may already have a database, and we can expand on that. But I would like to see you guys engage because you guys are doing the work on this platform. But I like to use the term pour gasoline on it. Whether we can pour gasoline on your platform and have you plugged in to one of those key resources. Information is power. You know that.
Yes.
So let's double down and make sure the veterans and those that are adjacent to veterans have a ready source of information because it doesn't do a lot of good to know about all of these resources out there that are going to other communities and we are languishing in despair in many cases because not that we don't qualify but we don't know what's available to even apply for. So there are two types of people who are going to partake of benefits: those that qualify and those that know about it. And if you don't know about it, whether you qualify or not, you won't partake of the opportunities that are out there. So let's join arms together and make some great things happen for the long underappreciated veterans of foreign wars and conflicts because we've never gotten a fair shake.
I I agree with everything, and I think there's an opportunity for uh, you or for anyone to it's it's a challenging task to all the different organizations uh, have their priorities and have it's the task is to uh, do a better job of having the different organizations uh, work together and uh, and a big task is having information available and sharing information and being able to go get that information. And I I can speak from experience that there are not a lot of databases available in. And I'm a member of the VFW in the American Legion. They're 100 years old, and it's hard to get information from them.
Correct.
Uh,
Ver-
from so
Yeah.
that is a challenge for everybody.
I was just thinking, Herman and Mr. Crane, about maybe the city of South Fulton would like to take the lead in maybe developing a veteran data resource center or something that is manned by an individual or group of individuals that veterans will have a point of contact, a location that they can go to and to get information. Yeah, there are veteran centers throughout the state. I agree with that. But we have a community of 100,000 people. And I guarantee you, of that 100,000 people, 50 to 60% of those individuals in this community have a veteran relationship, either a spouse, or children, or uncle, or grandfather, someone that could benefit from these particular resources. And the thing for me is that it's very disturbing to find a veteran who served in World War II, Korean War, all the other campaigns, and you can see that they have disabilities and they're not being treated. Homelessness, drug addiction, sexual
Suicide.
abuse, sexual abuse, you name it. There's so many different things that we as veterans are dealing with, but we don't have the resources. Just one suicide is a bad indication. They're saying 20 to 25 per day. I'm sure that number's higher. That's what they want to report.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm sure it is much higher because of the stress, the strain, and the lack of resources that are not available.
Now, let me just touch on that, uh, Brother Aiken. Yeah, we ought to have that information available. We need to take the lead on that. I agree. It could be a extra page or two on the city's website. But here's my question. There are many people, particularly those baby boomers, who are not computer savvy,
Correct.
don't have a computer. So we got to be very thoughtful and intentional about how we get to those people. We have to have multi prongs to this approach. Can't just be a page on the website or something like that. There's got to be more. So those are the kinds of conversations that we can have in those first, I mean, the last Friday meetings or offline or on calls like this. We need to have those conversations. Yes.
I'm gonna I'm gonna raise my hand to make a comment.
You don't need to raise your hand. You run the show, sir.
While you were making those comments about the baby boomers, of which we fit into that category,
Right, we all do.
the city of South Fulton and throughout the city of Atlanta, they have many, many what they call uh, centers. What's the word? What do they
Senior,
call
senior centers.
senior centers?
Right.
And you go to these senior centers, and they have everything on the front table: a free bus trip, free food and vegetables, da 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 da. Nothing in relationship to veterans. That could be one stop because I know veterans that go there every day to either walk, exercise, socialize, or whatever. They're there every day.
Yeah.
So that's one area looking at each senior citizen center of putting information out there for them to take a look at and grab and pick up, even though they may not be computer savvy as you indicated, but now they have a piece of paper that they
Right.
can take back with them going home and sit down with a cup of coffee or hot water like I'm drinking with lime and read.
Right. No doubt.
So
No
that's just
doubt.
one thought.
No doubt. I think that's a great thing. And let me ask you guys this: that next
Let me
Friday,
uh, raise my hand, and then there are vet centers are available, senior centers are available, and again, the big thing is communication. It's the city of South Fulton, it's the city of Atlanta, it's the different counties that all have, like Anthony mentioned, senior centers, and there's a lot of resources available. But what's available is the people that come there in the seniors like ourselves not really aware of what's going on at these senior centers that are in the vet centers that are first class that has a lot of resources that are not being used. And to me, that's a challenge to all of us. Is and it's about communication, number one. Number two, it is about those of us that are no longer technology savvy or don't want to be technology savvy,
Mhm.
is uh, to figure out a way to plug into this and get the word out. Like you say, we all got uh, some type of cell phone. But what we use it for is a different story. Is so there are. It's a challenge to come up with ways to uh, let the veterans and their family, the entire community know that there are a lot of resources available for veterans and their family, and and in some cases, uh, like Anthony's favorite word is knucklehead. It's there in front of us, and we are not taking advantage of it.
Correct.
Well, I agree with that. And here's what I would say: you know, posting information at all of these various places, I think that's important. But it's important that we are intentional about framing the conversation. We've got to say the right things. You know, results depend upon what you say, how you say it, and to whom you say it. So we just can't just do a shotgun approach to just put stuff out there. It may be important that for this day we're going to put this on the table. This is what the conversation is going to be about. Because if you put out 10 different things, people can get overwhelmed, but if we strike a nerve on this issue, then we may get some traction out of that. But whatever the vehicle, whatever the apparatus is we attach ourselves to, again, it's about intentionality, it's about the conversation, and we got to be everywhere all the time. And there's got to be ongoing conversations that we got to be a part of it if we want to, navigate into safer waters. Right now, we're not in the safest place that we can be in. Now, that's me on the outside looking in. Certainly, you guys are, subject matter experts on this. But I guess my point is, I want to partner with you because I'm passionate about this, as I know you are, and I could be that conduit to help make some great things happen.
Yeah. Just one more point. It was brought to my attention, and I agree with it totally. Yeah, there are veteran centers out there that could, have computer support for those veterans that are, knuckleheads and don't have the background to deal with it. And they have people there to help them with that. So that's just another source in addition to trying to put information out in these welcome centers where our baby boomers tend to go. Um, so that's just another added deal. So if you are successful, and we hope you are, that you'll be able to advocate for the veterans. I'm very passionate about it, just like Herman. It's when someone says, "I appreciate you for your service," I hope they're very sincere because all gave some, but some gave all.
Hmm. Wow.
All gave some,
Hmm.
but some gave all.
Well,
So,
well said, sir.
so we don't need those individuals out there that just do the party line. Thank you for your service, and mean nothing behind it because they don't really know what it's like to ruck a sack for 10 miles or live out in the
Hmm.
woods or be shot at,
Or
be
shot.
or shot or be separated from your family for months on end and with no communications. So for those, man, you just don't know the passion we have. Uh, last show we had Reverend McGee on, and I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but the Herman, tell them about that veteran thing because I'm getting a little emotional right now. So tell them a little bit about that.
Uh, well, I am actually a part of it. The Vietnam Veteran Memorial Center that we just opened in Piedmont Park. Reverend McGee, who is a Vietnam veteran, and Reverend McGee is the president of Vietnam Veteran of America, Chapter 1118 in Atlanta. And it's a memorial to all of the Vietnam veterans that lost their lives in Fulton County, in all of Fulton County. So it include all the cities in Fulton County, and that amounted to I believe the number is 200 and
42.
yes, people, and we worked on this project for about 10 years
Wow.
in order to get it in. And it's a memorial in Piedmont Park that's is open to the public, and it's working with Fulton County and the city of Atlanta. We were able to, and we had to get this approved by Parks and Recreation all the way up to Washington, the Veteran Administration. So, and this is a memorial to all of the Vietnam veterans that lost their lives in Vietnam, like I said. And it's you could say it's a small symbol of the wall in Washington, where everyone's name is there, and all of the family members in know whether they were actually uh, if they were when they went in service, if they was designated as being from Fulton County, period, all including all the cities that Vietnam Veteran of America organization has accounted for them, and that's uh, it's the memorial is open. There will be an additional celebration on Memorial Day. So, in all of the mayors of all of the cities in Atlanta and in Fulton County and the mayor of Atlanta all were at the event, and Reverend McGee is the president of the organization. So it's
Awesome.
they. I know we need more communication about that, and it's also part of the plan is to funds has been allocated. through uh, the city of Atlanta in partnering with Fulton County to provide resources similar to what we're talking about to help veterans with their claims, just to help veterans know what's available. And it's an ongoing process to come up with locations within all of Fulton County. This includes all of Fulton County. This is a Fulton County project. Uh, which is that's also a part of the the bigger picture. Like we're talking about what the city of South Fulton can do, what the city of Forest Park, what the cities of College Park, Hateville, what all the city mayors can do to further. This is an opportunity for veterans and their families, and there are resources available, and the resources have been acquired through coming down to help veterans, not asking veterans to pay for services. This is services that we have earned and are available.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Crane, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you're running and what do you think you could bring to the community and the citizens of South Fulton?
Well, I'm happy to do that. Thank you. But let me just kind of close the gap on this veterans and honor and peace. Here, I don't know if you guys are aware, there is a garden of honor for um, a memorial wall. In the city of South Fulton has taken that step. I don't know if you know about it. If you don't, that's one of the things that I learned at that last Monday of the month meeting. Number one, number two, there's a, of course, we do a Veterans Day parade. So, things to get people out. And here's the other thing. I don't know if the city of South Fulton has officially crossed the burning sands to have the city recognized as a Purple Heart city. I haven't seen any signs in our city saying we are a Purple Heart city. That's a city that, by proclamation, adopts that for recognizing veterans and those who lost their lives in military services so that it can be uh, more dialed in, customer facing, as supporting veteran services. If we don't have that designation now, uh, we'll get it
Yeah,
on my watch.
that's
On
something
my
needs to be
watch.
worked on. Yeah.
No doubt about it. And
Yes.
so that's one thing that I will do. So to your point about why am I running? I'm running because I believe we deserve a city councilman who's going to listen, who's going to act, and who's going to deliver for our city, not just for District 3. District 3 are the only people that can vote for me. And I pray that 50% plus one of them do. But I'll be representing the whole city. So I take a very global approach to this. So here's what we need to make sure that our dark streets are no longer dark streets. Let's replace the old light fixtures that either poorly work or don't work at all, or they're not the current technology with LED lights to light up the streets. Why is that important? Police officers tell me that some of the most dangerous calls they make are domestic violence, and they're going down dark streets. They don't know what they're walking into. And I believe, and they believe, that is unnecessary risk that they are taking simply because they can't see. And fire trucks going down dark street. The firemen are telling me if they're unfamiliar with the community and they're going down a dark street, they really can't see that turn in the road. So we need to make sure that the people who take care of us are taken care of and they are thought of in building out our infrastructure. So we got to make sure we do that. And how many of you, by the show of hands, has gotten a ticket going through a school zone? Okay, I got one for both of you. Okay, all right, I got you covered. So we got school zone cameras to slow us down. I get it. I support that. But at the same time, some of uh, the schools don't have sidewalks in front of them. So where are the children going to walk when they get out of school? if there are no sidewalks. Yep, they're gonna walk in the street, putting themselves in harm's way. And if I'm successful in the next 18 months, every school that doesn't have sidewalks in front of it to connect to the community, we're going to make sure that that's done so that the children can walk home from school and through their community safely, and our uh, parents can have a sense of security that our children are safe navigating through the community. And another thing we got to be mindful of is the economic development piece. Everywhere I go, people are saying, no, please, no more warehouses, and let's stop data centers from coming in, running our electrical bills up, being a drain on the water supply, because every time you go into Chat GPT, you use 16 ounces of water for every uh, chat every time you ask them a question. So it's a huge drain on our resources. So we got to be very, very sensitive about that. Those are big buildings, they take up a lot of bandwidth, and they are changing the culture of some communities. There is currently a moratorium until June for data centers. If I'm successful, I'm going to advocate let's extend that out, number one. And after when that moratorium expires, I want to make sure that we have a higher bar for them to have to traverse to get a data center even being contemplated in our city. And I want to make sure that that bar is so high that they may say, I'm good, y'all. I'll go down the street somewhere, not in South Fulton. We have enough warehouses and data centers surrounding us. We don't need that. So I'm going to fight for that. But what I'm going to fight against that, what I'm going to fight for is building an ecosystem for small businesses so that resources can be made available. I know in the African American community, we struggle with access to capital. I want to make sure we have resources available to teach these small businesses, number one, how to do business with the government, not just this one, but every government. They all want to have access to some of these millions and millions of dollars worth of procurement opportunities, but don't know how. We want to make sure that we have a pipeline so people can participate. And if
Well, that really sounds good. Um, Herman and I are military guys, and we don't like procrastination.
right,
And I see quite a bit of procrastination among politicians. They will bust their hump doing the campaign trail to get citizens to come out. But once they come out and some of the promises they've made, they don't interact. When you take a look at how the city of South Fulton and the city of Union City have abutted so close together, 15 years ago, South Fulton Parkway was just a very nice drive. Now you go down South Fulton Parkway, starting from Stonewall Tail to either end, there are data centers, there are warehouses, the whole 9 yards. They have just changed the landscape. But my question is, if these councils are negotiating with these big boxes, are they negotiating to ensure that the residents of the community get employed? If you're going to bring these big boxes in, what percentage are you assuring the community that they will get money back into the community and residents will have the opportunity to get employed? I think that's key and essential, but I'm not sure if that's being addressed or taken care of. Can you address that?
yes, I can tell you this. When you get on South Fulton Parkway, starting all the way back up at the beginning of South Fulton Parkway, before you get to Buffington Road, all of that, all of those warehouses, those are in the city or in Union City. I cannot speak to whether they put any stipulations and requirements for, set aside a percentage of the work for construction or employment must be allocated to citizens of South Fulton. So they changed the culture. When the South Fulton Parkway was built, it was built on the same concept and premise as 400 on the north side. It was a developmental highway. It wasn't built to be just a blank space. Well, what happened on 400? I mean, it's massive traffic jam, but that's because of growth. They got all of those Class A buildings and all the good stuff. It's not warehouses, but Union City took most of the Parkway into their city when we were trying to become a city the first time in 2006. They annexed a lot of it and they made it warehouses, and we cannot undo that. But I tell you this, there I know that there are conversations about employment opportunities when the city of South Fulton talks to just about any development that want to come in. What type of minority participation do you have in your construction? Do you have an engineer or grading company, electrician, plumbers, HVAC? What percentage of them? That's key. And then once the building is up and operational, how many jobs are you going to bring or create? Not bring, create right here in the community. Because some companies, the record shows that when they build in certain communities, they bring their workforce. They transfer from other places. That does not empower our community. I want to make sure we create jobs in the community. As I hope the new hospital that's coming online in South Fulton, not the city of South Fulton, it's going to be in Union City. We hope to create over 1,000 jobs around that. Now that's in Union City, but what happens in Union City impacts us, just like all those warehouses impact us. But let me go back to one thing you said at the top of that last comment about empty promises. If I'm successful, I would be elected for the unexpired term of the prior council person. I got 18 months. Now, here's what my commitment is. The things that I'm talking about, getting those sidewalks done, getting those street lights put in place, I got 18 months to do that. And I want to be able to say, November of 2027, when I'm hoping to be reelected, I'm going to say, I made these promises and I've delivered. That's what I want to be able to do. I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver. I never have and I never will.
Thank you very much. And then,
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question as I know the South Fulton City government is a group. I do you uh, you feel you can work with the the mayor and the city council to accomplish uh, to be a part of the team to accomplish this?
That's a great question. I would say of the people that are running for this office, I'm the only one that has every city council person on speed dial on my telephone. And not only am I on speed, they're on my phone speed dial, I'm on theirs. They take my calls. I didn't just establish relationship with the mayor. I've known her long before she was even a councilwoman for District Two, District One. Catherine Riles, we fought for cityhood together. She took care of the education piece. We have a relationship. District number three, I want to hold that seat. District number four, that's Keosha Bell. Before she was elected, we were friends. We were on the telephone just yesterday talking about uh, the good things that we need to double down on and the things that we need to work on. District number five, that's Miss Natasha Williams Brown, good friend of mine. I've known her since before she was on city council, and we have an amazing working relationship. District number six is district number 6 is well, JC Sebastian is in number 4. I'm sorry. JC Sebastian, number 4. He was on my committee when we were trying to create the city of South Fulton. 5 is Keosha Bell. 6 is Natasha Brown Williams. And District 7 is Linda Pritchett. I've known her for a very, very long time. I coached her ex-husband when he was Little League Baseball when he was 7 years old. So we go back a long way. Now, why am I saying all that? Because relationships matter. If you don't have relationships, you're going to have a difficult time navigating these treacherous waters. Now, will we agree on all things at all time? Absolutely not. I hope not. because somebody stopped thinking. But on these issues that I believe that are important for me to accomplish in the next 18 months, I don't believe not one person on that council is going to say, no, I don't think we need sidewalks around our school, so I'm not going to give you a vote for that. Or I don't think we need street lights to make it safer for our police and fire. I don't think I'm going to get a fight from anybody on that. So I'm going to deliver on those things that I'm committed to. And I'm also committed to working with veterans. And it doesn't take four votes for that. That just takes an act of somebody's will. And I have the will to get that done.
Well, we hope you have that passion because if you are successful, you're going to be accountable.
Please hold me accountable.
You have to be accountable for your actions. That's
Absolutely.
not be a talking head, but be accountable
Right.
because people are going to watch you. And as much energy you put into campaigning, we hope you have the same energy if you're selected to be in office to get those things done, the sidewalks, the lights, etc. Um, you know, one other thing that has been on my mind, and I got to say, Herman has been a champion of it. And since we have such a large community of veterans courts, Clayton County has one. City of Fulton County has one. And that's something that I think the city of South Fulton needs to consider as a veterans court. Do you agree with that,
How does
Herman?
that work?
That's an opportunity for veterans that may have a traffic violation or some drug violation, something like that, that uh, the court gives them the opportunity to go into a program. And once they go through this program and they successfully complete the program, either those charges are reduced or are just thrown away. Herman, can you expound on it a little bit how they do it in Clayton
Uh,
County?
Veteran court is similar to mental health court. A lot of county have mental health court. They have in veteran courts, and there are other courts, and basically veterans the court admits, and it's newly started at the probate judge level in whatever county you in and city, and uh, it's also it involves other veterans because veteran court has mentors, and part of the program is that the veteran that has a violation of whatever it may be goes into a, a training system, and that mentor helps that veteran through the system, help them get assistance out of once they're in the system, help them get training, prepared for work. It's, I would say a average time through a veteran court for a veteran would be uh, 1 year, depending on the violation. And in the what is the basic thesis of a veteran court is the court understands that if you have a military background, you we have no, it changes your life whether you admit to it or not. You veteran has certain uh, tendencies of whatever that another veteran will understand better. And you also, and there's a second part to it. There's a lot of veterans. The first time they get in trouble, they don't even tell the courts or the people in jail that they are veterans. So you have
Hmm.
veterans that are in jails, in court, that are actually being penalized, whereas there are some veteran resources available that can help them. So that's kind of
That
on.
that's amazing. I think those are great opportunities, and those are the kinds of conversations that people need to be having when they get in that room, uh, because it has to start somewhere. It starts from an idea, and then it can catch fire. So that conversation, we ought to start that on the last Monday of each month. Seems like I keep repeating that. I have an ulterior motive for repeating that over and over because I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great platform from which to build, and I think it can yield some good results where great minds and great conversation and discourse can take place. So I look forward to those kinds of opportunities when we can be of great service and benefit to that population.
Now, you said something important, mustard seed. That's how WCEG started, a mustard seed, an idea
Wow.
of
Wow.
Penny Rogers, our
Yep.
leader. And she has been passionate in the WCEG family, and the network has grown. So we understand the mustard seed concept. So we always applaud her every opportunity we get. And also Miss Vivian, our studio manager, our production manager, to keep us in line because we're not successful as an individual. We are family. And we hope that you come through, if selected, to understand that the veterans are a big family for this community. And we should do everything possible for those that served to protect our borders. There's only 1% of the population that protects the United States. 1%.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and with the new administration, that's changing.
Yeah.
The leadership's changing, the philosophy is changing, the
Mhm.
idea of supporting the nation is changing.
No doubt. No doubt.
So a small community with, and I say small, 100,000 people, and when I said earlier, probably 50 to 60% of veterans, let's not forget them.
Well, you're absolutely right. I take that to heart. But I have a ask, Colonel and Herman. It would be an amazing show of solidarity if you guys can cause a coalescing of veterans around this candidate, not in your capacity with WCEG, but I'm talking about as in your individual capacity, veterans are supporting this candidate. I mean, I can just see it now. Just imagine if you will, for a moment, we're getting together and in one place at the same time for one cause, and that's to get this candidate elected. And we're making telephone calls to other veterans who live in the district to get them to get out and vote for this candidate so that we can make a difference and we can grow from there. That will be a great, great opportunity, I believe, not just for this candidate, but for this city to have that type of unity with the veterans and this candidate.
Well, that's something that Herman and I will definitely take under consideration and talk about it with our leadership at WCG family. But we're getting close to the end of the hour right now, and we just want to say thank you very much for your time, your comments, your thoughts, and your goals for this community. Herman, you got any other comments before we close?
Just to your ask, I will take it to a level outside of WCG, like Anthony mentioned. And it's it's a question for the many veteran organizations out there to consider in its. So it is something that I will consider at a level dealing with other organizations.
Well,
Thank you.
look, we only have 15 seconds left. We just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Crane, for being on our show today and for our listeners to be able to go back and view the show again. So thank you very much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me. I wish you guys Godspeed, good health, and go to the polls. Vote for Benny Crane, District 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Bye.